Sydney. How many of you have visited our temple in North Sydney? Okay, most of you. For those of you who haven't yet, please take this as a personal invite, and you can't look for a better month than Damodar Masa. It is still going to continue till 16th of November. So you're welcome to come any day in the evening, and you will be given an opportunity to offer lamps to Shri Radha Gopinath Ji and Shri Yashoda Damodar Bhagwan. So today, I thought it's a good opportunity for us we normally sing Damodarastakam. It's a poem of 8 verses. So today we can discuss about the meaning. Many times we sing but without fully understanding the meaning of our prayers. So this is a good opportunity for us to go through each one of the verses. And as we go through each one of the verses, let's take some time to understand what qualities of Krishna is explained in that particular verse. So this song, Sri Damodarastakam, is written by Satyavrata Muni, who is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. How many of you know Damodarastakam by heart? Wonderful. How many of you have never sung Damodarastakam at all? There's always a first time, no problem. Okay, good. So for everyone's benefit, I'll read out the verse and the meaning, and then we'll discuss a bit more on that. Then we'll go to the next verse. That's the plan. Okay? So, who knows, who can sing the first verse? I think there is a sheet that's there. Whoever knows by heart, first verse you can sing. Wonderful. You don't need any musical instruments. Your voice itself is like music. Thank you very much. So the meaning goes like this. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storeroom, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, who was ultimately caught to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. So as the Leela goes, here you can see that's the deity of Sri Yashoda Damodar. We see a small deity there. Mother Yashoda, she is tying baby Krishna to a grinding mortar. Why will a mother punish a child or correct a child when the child does something mischievous, correct? What do you think Krishna did in order to be tied up to the grinding mortar? Who knows? Anyone? What did Krishna do? Anyone? He broke the pot. He stole the butter. Yes, he distributed it to monkeys. So many things he did. So the first verse actually goes that his earrings are swinging back and forth. Krishna has got many parshad or items which he personally uses, items which have very special names and significance as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you. What's your name, Prabhu? Damodar. Oh my God. Damodar Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Actually, in 2017, he was born in Damodar.
Damodar month.
That's why my Guru Maharaj gave the name.
Jai. Do you also do mischiefs? Yeah, lots. So, Krishna has got different items that he wears, and they have very special names also. Each one of them, they are specific personalities as well. Anyone knows the name of Krishna's conch, Shanka? Panchajanya. Good. Anyone knows the name of Krishna's chakra? Sudarshana. Good. Krishna's gata. Kaumodaki, that's the name. Okay, so Krishna's Gata is Kaumodaki. Krishna also got a sword. Anyone knows the name? It's known as Nandaka. Krishna also has a bow. Arjuna's bow, what's the famous? Gandiv. You didn't even wait for me to complete the question. I said, what is the famous bow of Arjuna known as? Gandiv. Krishna also has got a very famous bow. Anyone knows the name? Okay, find out. Kodanda. Okay, Lord Ram also carries that. So you will come across many paraphernalia of Krishna. Likewise, Krishna wears different earrings. If you come to our North Sydney temple, you will see Krishna wearing very beautiful earrings. Every day different size, shape, color. But one favorite earring of Krishna is given here. It swings back and forth. It's known as Makara Kundala. Makara means like a crocodile. Okay, so sometimes you will see, if you see Vittala in Maharashtra, he wears a big Makara Kundala, you come across. Okay, so Krishna loves that. Krishna, even though he is bluish in complexion, his dhoti is always in a certain color. Anyone knows the name of Krishna's or color of Krishna's dhoti? Yellow. Okay, Krishna loves wearing yellow, like that. Okay, so Krishna is a person just like we have our favorites. Krishna also has got his favorites. He likes everything. Okay, so here, that Supreme Lord Krishna, he broke the pot. Mother Yashoda is chasing after him. And as Mother Yashoda is chasing, baby Krishna is feeling afraid and he is running. And as he is running, his earrings are actually swinging back and forth this way. So that's the description he is saying, who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda. Now, Supreme Lord is not fearful of anyone. After the Kurukshetra war, when Krishna went and spent time with the Pandavas, he reinstated them as the kings of the whole world. Yudhishthir Maharaj is the king and all the Pandavas are supporting Yudhishthir Maharaj. At that time, when the time came for Krishna to go back to Dwaraka, because Krishna had spent a lot of time with the Pandavas during the whole Kurukshetra war, and then he extended his stay also even further, because Yudhishthir Maharaj was very upset that just to reinstate him as a king, so many people had to be killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhagavatam, there is a reference which says close to 540 million people were killed in Kurukshetra war, the biggest world war. So many people were killed. So Yudhishthir Maharaj was feeling very bad, So because of that, Krishna extended his stay to console, and until he ensures that everything is going smoothly, he stayed there. And when the time came for Krishna to go back to Dwaraka, at that time Yudhishthir Maharaj sends a big army to support as his entourage, as his protecting guards. Now, who is actually protecting the army? It's actually Krishna. But Yudhishthir Maharaj, as a devotee, he wants to offer that respect to Krishna. So, he is actually sending the army. So, same way here, it's not that Krishna is very fearful. Normally, he is not. But in this particular Leela, he is playing the role of a little baby. And when a baby actually does some mistake and when he sees the parent angry, he feels little fearful and he runs away. Because in this particular case, normally when Krishna breaks a pot or does anything mischievous, Yashoda Maharani would correct him. Don't do this. Like that she will show her anger. But in this particular instance, few things which normally don't happen had already happened. One was Yashoda Maharani has already picked up a stick. She has never picked up a stick in the past. And then Krishna thinks this is something serious. And then Krishna, when he sees the stick, Krishna starts to cry. And when he starts to cry, the tears are actually washing away the mascara from his eyes. Normally, when Krishna cries like that, Mother Yashoda would take a tip of her sari and she would wipe. Oh, it's okay, don't cry, like that. Today, that's not happening either. Then Krishna is wiping on his own hands and he's saying, plan change, I need to do something now. So he had already experienced something which is unusual about this particular Leela. So because of that, now he is genuinely feeling fearful, because even Krishna doesn't know what's going to happen here. Normally, when in any faith you take Christianity, you take Islam, you take Hinduism also, we speak about, or Vaishnavism, we speak about law of karma. You do something good, you get something good. You do something bad, you get something bad. As you sow, so shall you reap. normally. So if you do something bad, you can always expect, something bad is going to happen. In this, and who gives the judgment whether we did something bad, what should be the karmic reaction? It's the Supreme Lord who is giving. But in this case, look who is actually fearing of the repercussion, Supreme Lord himself here. Correct? Usually it doesn't happen. We as mere mortals, we do mistakes and we are worried, what will happen now, we don't know. But in this case, what had happened was Supreme Lord himself, he has done something mischievous and now he is awaiting judgment. Very, very unusual. Okay, so Krishna, without knowing what's going to come, as a little baby, he is playing his role to the dot and he is running now. And as he is running, his earrings are swinging back and forth like that. Who knows the second verse? Anyone? Yes, Mataji. Wonderful. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. He is crying and rubbing his eyes. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick. And as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, who is bound with his devotees' love, I offer my humble obeisances. Krishna, he is very independent. One of Krishna's qualities you will come across is Swarat. Swarat means he is independent. He doesn't follow any rules. Lord Ramachandra, he proved he is Supreme Lord by following every rule. Krishna proved that he is Supreme Lord by breaking every rule and still goes unpunished. Okay, so this is Krishna. In this case, he has done something and he gets bound to the grinding mortar. And now he doesn't know what more is actually going to ensue from this point onwards. So in this situation, Krishna is crying and he is rubbing his eyes. And as Krishna is rubbing his eyes, the tears from his eyes are actually coming and washing his mascara on both his eyes, and it's coming down. And Krishna is wiping away his tears. In 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's given that the beauty of Krishna is so good, so wonderful, so mesmerizing, that the Gopas would sometime curse Brahma that why did you create this eyelid? Because for a fraction of a second it closes, right? We don't even see the difference. But the Gopas and Gopis, they can't stand the thought of not seeing Krishna even for the time it actually takes for the eyelids to actually close and open. So there is a beautiful verse at the end of 9th canto before Krishna Leela starts. This is like the introduction verse. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna brajat kapola shubhagam savilasa hasam nityotsavam na tatribir drishibir pibantyo naryo narascha mutita kupita nimescha. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna. Krishna's beautiful face has got a sharp nose. He has a very brilliant forehead, nice curly hair which is very shining. He wears shark-shaped or alligator-shaped earrings, and Krishna's cheeks is also very sharp. And when the beauty of Krishna is being looked upon by all the Gopas and Gopis, they curse. Naryo narascha mutita kupita nimeshahai. They can't stand the thought of even losing the sight of Krishna for a fraction of a second it takes for the eyelids to close. That's how beautiful Krishna is. So here it's given, upon seeing the whipping stick, that same Krishna who is the cynosure of everyone's eyes, in this particular Leela, Krishna is a very little boy, mischievous young boy. He is actually doing something wrong, mischievous, gets tied up to grinding mortar, and now he is crying. On this day, when Krishna performed this Leela, Balaram was not around. So when Krishna was tied up, Balaram was not around. He was with his mother and they both have gone to Upananda's home. Upananda is brother of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is father of Krishna, Nanda Baba, and what is the name of Krishna's mother? Yashoda Maharani. Okay, good. So Yashoda Maharani, she is the mother of Krishna. Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj, he is the father of Krishna, and he had his whole family of brothers, who he was born with. On that day, Rohini Mata, who is mother of Balaram, had taken Balaram to Upananda's home. That's why you don't see Balaram. Otherwise, Balaram would have done something to protect Krishna. Balaram is always very protective of Krishna. In fact, after Krishna gets bound up, Balaram comes. And then he asks, who did this? Do you know who Krishna is? Krishna is Supreme Lord. And then when everyone tells it's Mother Yashoda, he also gets scared. And finally he goes to Mother Yashoda and he says, do you know who is Krishna? Do you know who I am? Then Mother Yashoda was cooking. She turns towards him and he says, I don't know, tell me. Now he gets more scared. And then he says, Krishna is Supreme Lord. He is Narayan. And then Mother Yashoda says like, okay, then who are you? Then he says, I'm Anantasesh. You know, when he came as Lord Ram, I came as Lakshman. I'm the Anantasesh. Okay, I act as his bed, I act as his footwear, I act as his mats, I act as his asana. This is me. I act as his umbrella also. Then Mother Yashoda, what she does was, she was cooking at the time, she has the spoon, she turns towards Balaram and she says, oh, why is it all incarnations found only my home to actually appear? Then she rises. Balaram gets scared and he runs away. And then he goes and tells to Krishna. Krishna is still crying. And he says, what can I do? It's Yashoda Maya. She is actually very angry. If it's anyone else, I would have directly gone and chastised them, punished them. But here it's Yashoda Maharani, even I'm scared. What can I do? You know, he says like that. Okay, let's go to the next verse, which is verse 3. We have got another 5 more verses to cover. Who knows? Joy. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in a pool of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayana in Vaikunta, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodara, my obeisance is hundreds and hundreds of times. Supreme Lord, he is in Goloka Vrindavan as Krishna. He is Swayam Bhagavan, Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. Krishna, he is in Goloka Vrindavan. But Krishna's expansion, Balaram Krishna's expansion, Narayana, he lives in Vaikunta. How many of you have been or at least heard about a South Indian temple called Tirupati? What's the name of the deity in Tirupati? Balaji. So for Balaji to every day wake him up in the morning, they sing Shuprabhatam. That Shuprabhatam song, like in ISKCON we sing Samsara Dava. Okay, so early in the morning to offer our first respects to our spiritual master, we sing Ghanashyam. So this is the waking up song. But prior to that, they wake up Radha Gopinath ji also, early in the morning at 4 o'clock. Gopinath never misses Mangalarati. He is always awake. So in South India, if you go to Balaji temple, early in the morning, they sing this song known as Shuprabhatam. Shuprabhatam was written by Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra Muni, when he takes Rama and Lakshmana, when they were barely 8-9 years old, he takes both of them to help him perform a yagya, because there were few demons and demonesses who were causing, Tataka especially. They were causing a lot of disturbance in his yagya performance. So for protection, he comes to Dasharath Maharaj and he says, I would like to take Lord Ram. Dasharath Maharaj, when he hears that, he faints. And he says, I can come for your protection. I can send my whole army for protection. Why this little boy? Then Vishwamitra tells him, look, to kill those demons and demonesses, even I can kill myself. But I want your son to come with me. So then he takes him along with his brother, which is Lakshman. So every day morning, when Lord Ram and Lakshman, they were sleeping, Vishwamitra would actually sing that song to wake them up. So it's a beautiful song. Kaushalya, Shupraja, Rama, Purva, Sandhya, Pravartate. It goes like that. So it's like Vishwamitra mentioning about, Mother Kaushalya is coming. She is waiting. Please get up like that. So he sang that song. That song, if you go through the lyrics of that song, you will come across one line which says something very interesting. That Sri Vaikunta Viraktaya Swami Pushkarani Tate Ramaya Ramamanaya Venkateshaya Mangalam. That Narayana in Vaikunta, he was with Lakshmi ji. But he didn't like, because he has got a lot of karuna within his heart, lot of mercy within his heart, and he wants to give that mercy to people. In Vaikunta, everyone is a pure devotee. He couldn't use that karuna upon people. So Sri Vaikunta Viraktaya means to give up. Not having so much karuna within his heart and without knowing what to do with that, Sri Vaikunta Viraktaya, he gave up Vaikunta and he came down as Balaji. That's how this song goes. So Krishna, when he comes down here to perform his Leela, it is for only one purpose, which is to Iti Drikshva Leelabir Ananda Kunde. To drown everyone. We all know the story. Normally, if you watch a movie, what is the most important part in a movie? Climax, correct? If you watch a cricket match, what's the most important ball that was bowled? Last ball of the tournament, correct? Here, we know the story already, correct? Most of us know the story. But we'll still hear. Tomorrow, if somebody else comes and speaks, again, you will also go narrating as if it's actually happening new. But even though it is a story whose every plot we know, there is nothing that's surprising here. Everyone knows, even little kids know. But from the child, all the way when they grow up to an old man or old woman, still they'll keep on reciting because we never feel bored. Because the Leela of Krishna is such that it will always bring newer and newer, fresher ecstasies and emotion within our heart. And this is due to Krishna and Balaram getting a boon from their spiritual master. Their spiritual master, who is Krishna's guru? Anyone knows? Sandipani Muni. Where did Krishna go to Gurukula? Yes, Ujjain. So, used to be known as Avanti, Ujjain. Okay, so now Krishna, after doing his Gurukula, he learnt all the 64 arts in 64 days. And after learning everything, when the time came to offer Dakshina to his Guru, he goes and approaches his Guru. Guru says, I don't want anything, maybe you can ask Guru Mata. Guru Mata is his wife. So then Krishna Balram, they go and ask Guru Mata, and she says that we had one young son long ago, but he died. We know that you are not ordinary personalities. If you can bring them back alive. Then Krishna says, okay. Then Krishna and Balaram, they go searching for him, different places. They go deep under the ocean. Finally, they find his whereabouts. He is already died and he is being punished in Yamaloka. So then they both go to Yamaraj and they tell to Yamaraj, release this boy. Then Yamaraj says, my lord, this is the law of karma. Based on every jiva's activities, there is a certain punishment. If it's bad, some punishment needs to be given. If you take him, what will happen to all those karma balance? This is the system we all need to follow. So then Krishna says, you write off all the karmic reaction in my name. Like that he tells to Yamaraj and he writes it off. He brings that boy, gives him back to Sandipani Muni and his wife, who is the Guru Mata. At that time, Sandipani Muni gives a boon to Krishna and Balaram. So Sandipani Muni says, you have pleased me so much with your humility, you have pleased me so much with your Guru Bhakti. So now I bless you that whatever you actually speak, from now on, whatever you speak will become Veda. Whatever you speak will carry newer and newer meaning, it will never feel saturated. Sometimes we may tell to our friends something, but we forget that we have told them, we may go to them, tell the same thing again. They'll say, you have already told me this. But you never feel like that, be it with Bhagavad Gita, be it with Krishna Lila, be it with anything that is connected to Krishna. You come to take darshan of Radha Gopinath, we know how Radha Gopinath are, correct? People usually go to tourist destinations because they want to see something. Let's say they go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower. Once you see, how many of you have seen Taj Mahal in India? If those of you who haven't, if you happen to go on Agra side, you'll have the curiosity, let me see. But if you come to our temple, Radha Gopinathji, how they look, everyone knows. But you still come to see them. You see the difference? Taj Mahal, next time, yeah, I know that. But seeing Krishna is not like that. Every time you see, he will look more and more fresh, satisfying our soul. Understand? Iti drikshva lilavir ananda kunde. Repeatedly, Krishna drowns people in an ocean of ecstasy, in a pool of ecstasy. That's what this song says. Anyone else knows the fourth stanza?
Baram deva mokshanna mokshabodhimba najanam bineha ham barsha depiha idam teva purnata gopala balam sadami manasya virastanti mannoi.
Joy. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. In Mukti, there are different types. There is 5 different types actually. 4 are the main. 1 is actually not considered Mukti. So we'll focus on just the other 4 types. Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sarishti. Sarupya or Salokya. Loka means what? Place, planet. Salokya means after we die, we go and take birth in the same planet as where the Supreme Lord is living. Vaikuntha planet. That's known as Salokya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti is after you die, you go take birth in the planet of the Lord, but we'll have exactly same form of the Lord. We look like the photocopy, but the original copy is the Lord only. Okay, so everyone look the same, but Supreme Lord, this is in Vaikuntha, mind you, not in Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan only Krishna, Ekala Ishwar Krishna. When you go to Vaikuntha, Supreme Lord actually is there in Chaturbhuja form. If somebody is desiring to want to have a similar form, Krishna blesses. Narayana blesses, okay, you can also have a form like me. They will also have 400 form. However, original Narayana still has one distinguishing mark, a golden hair known as Srivatsa. Have you heard about this name before? Srivatsa. Srivatsa is a tuft of hair which Narayana has on his chest, a golden streak of hair. But this type of mukti is known as Sarupya Mukti. This is the second type. Samipya Mukti means you go appear in the same planet of the Lord in his proximity. This is what Dhaka circuit. This side is what? Large street. I saw the street. It was actually large. So Samipya means Supreme Lord, if he is in Dhaka circuit, he is there, very beautifully worshipped. And you appear in large street, just nearby. And you can say, I live in the proximity of the Supreme Lord. I live very close to the Supreme Lord. Okay, this is known as Samipya. Sarishti Mukti means Mukti when we have same opulences and wealth as the Supreme Lord. Some devotees, they aspire like that, they'll go. Now, none of this is pure devotion. That's why this song actually says, my Lord, you can give all these 4 different types of liberation, Mukti, but I don't want any of this. Because pure devotee is not aspiring to either look like the Lord, they are not aspiring to actually be very, very close to the Lord, not aspiring to have same wealth as the Lord, none of that is theirs. So what is their aspiration? Here it says, my Lord, may this beautiful form of you as Bala Gopala, may this beautiful form of you being bound to a grinding mortar, may this form appear in my mind. I don't want any other boon. This is the prayer, this is the aspiration of a pure devotee. Who knows the 5th verse? Okay, we'll go another cycle. Yes? O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. The cheeks of your lotus face have become reddened like bimba fruit. How many of you have seen bimba fruit? Anyone? Red, very small, very small in size, very reddish. In South India, they grow like weeds in rainy season and they taste very delicious. So Krishna's lips is compared to bimba fruit. Here Krishna's cheeks is also compared to bimba fruit. What is Krishna's Shanka name? Panchajanya. What's the color of Panchajanya? White. But it is said when Krishna returns back from Hastinapur going back to Dwaraka, when his chariot is arriving on the outskirts of Dwaraka, Krishna picks up his Panchajanya and then he is blowing. What is the color of Krishna's lips? Red. Mukus chumbitam bimbam, it's given. Bimba fruit means it's reddish in color. So his lips is reddish in color, Panchajanya is white in color, Krishna is touching Panchajanya to his lips. Now what is the color of Panchajanya? Because of the touch of Krishna's lips, when Krishna is blowing, Panchajanya is also in ecstasy and it is going reddish. That's the description that's given. Here, Krishna's cheeks is also reddish, it's there. Even though Krishna is bluish in color, because he is constantly being kissed by his mother, Yashoda, his cheeks is also like bimba. That's the form that's given. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision be constantly remaining in my mind. This is the only prayer and meditation of the Supreme Lord. In South India, there are many holy places. You will see one holy place is there in a state of Andhra Pradesh. So if you go there, they have a lot of Narasimhadev temples. One Narasimhadev temple is very famous, where Narasimhadev is seated. There was one sage known as Bhargava Muni. Bhargava Muni, he desired to see Narasimhadev. How many of you know who is Lord Narasimha? Lion incarnation, right? He comes and rips the body of Hiranyakashipu. Oh yeah, there you see. Narasimhadev. Okay, so this is Narasimhadev. Nara and Simha, half Nara and half lion, Simha. That's why he is known as Narasimha. So he is famous for protecting the whole world, protecting the devotees by ripping the body of Hiranyakashipu. So this Bhargava Muni, he prays to Narasimhadev, and then Narasimhadev finally appears in front of him and he asks, what boon do you want? So he tells him, my lord, I want to see you at the peak of your anger. Because when Krishna appeared as Narasimhadev, he is already showing a lot of anger. Showing his anger by killing all the demons as well as ripping the body of Hiranyakashipu. But this particular devotee, who is a sage, he is praying to the Lord. Finally Lord appears and he says, my lord, I want to see you at the peak of your anger when you ripped the body of Hiranyakashipu. So in order for Lord to demonstrate that, he need Hiranyakashipu now again, correct? So as soon as the Lord desires, there is one Singhasan that comes, Lord sits, and as soon as he desires, Hiranyakashipu also comes again. If you look at that particular deity, very beautiful deity, Narasimhadev again, he sits. The time when, have you got this experience? You have something in a paper bag or plastic bag and you want to rip it open, let's say a packet of chips. At what moment do you think you will exert maximum pressure? The time when it is about to make the hole, correct? Same way, at what time do you think Narasimhadev would have actually shown the maximum anger? The time when his nail is about to go into the body of Hiranyakashipu. Correct? Hiranyakashipu is coming still in full form. He is lying on the lap of Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev roars. Much to the delight of this devotee, he takes his fingernail and he is about to pierce him. At that time, if you look at the deity, you will see normally, if you see any form of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu will be crying in pain, like that, looking at the Lord. This particular deity alone, if you see, Hiranyakashipu will be turning towards Bhargava Muni and he would be almost asking him, why do you want this? It's a very unique deity. Narsingadev will be looking at him, Hiranyakashipu will be looking front. If you look at him, Hiranyakashipu will be like, looking like this. Why like that? So, different devotees have different mode of worship of the Supreme Lord. Everything is transcendental. But here, this particular deity of Supreme Lord is being aspired to be seen by a pure devotee known as Satyavrata Muni. And what form is he wanting to see? He wants to see the form as Bala Gopala, baby Krishna, whose cheeks are reddened like bimba fruit, whose cheeks are decorated by the soft curly black hair, shining black hair that's actually running all the way there. That particular form of Krishna, may he become my object of meditation. So this is the aspiration or the desire of the devotee. Okay, who knows the next one? Namo Deva Damodarananta. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, please be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and I am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision. Namo Deva Damodara Ananta Vishnu. Ananta means unlimited. Oh unlimited Vishnu, what is he actually praying? I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow. There is a famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, also known as Bhagavata Purana. This Bhagavata Purana has got 18,000 verses. It speaks about the different avatars of the Supreme Lord, 22 main avatars of the Supreme Lord. Many verses they talk about glories of Bhakti. In fact, it talks about Bhakti and Bhakti only. One particular verse comes to my mind in connection to this, one of my favorites. Hasam Harer Avanata Kilaloka Tivra Sokashru Shagaram Visoshanam Atyudaram Sammohanaya Rachitam Nijamaya Yashva Brumandalam Munikrite Makaradvajasya. Meaning, if we go to a temple, pray to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Ji, and then bow down to them, in front of them, bow down. If we do that simple act, you can go to any Krishna temple, you can go to Vishnu temple, you look at the Lord, pray to the Lord, and then you do pranam, Dandavats pranam. Danda means like a rock or a stick rather. You fall down and then you pray, fully prostrating right in front of the Lord. If we do that, there is one instant benefit which one gets. This verse talks about it. Hasam Harer Avanata Killaloka Tivra Sogashru Shakaram. When we are born in this world is described by Krishna as Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. Okay, this world is full of pain. This world is temporary also. Shashvat means permanent, Ashashvat means temporary. Dukkha means pain, Dukkha Alaya means the whole abode of pain. That's what it means. I don't need to explain to you to convince you that the world is a painful place. All of us have. I remember when I was a child, my parents used to tell me, you just grow up, study for some time. I used to hate studies. I never liked the studies anyway. So, after some time, I used to look at my uncle, he was going to college. And at that time, they used to tell me, you grow up well, you see like him, once you go to college, you see, he doesn't go to class, you also don't need to go to class. For me, that was my inspiration. I need to grow up soon, go to college, so I don't need to go to class. Then finally I come to college, and then they were saying, no, you need to study well, then only you will get job. I'm like, that's not what I was told. Anyway, I continued, I got job also. When I was in the penultimate year, third year of my degree itself, I got a job. And then last 1 year, I thought like, okay, I can enjoy. And then suddenly, time just flies. You come to the job. I thought, okay, now job, it will be peaceful. Will it be peaceful? Especially if you are a new fresher. Now they say, no, you have to perform, prove yourself. I'm like, what is that? One thing or the other, you will see, you'll always go through pain. But when you're grown up, now you look back, wow, my childhood days was so good. No, in past it looks good. But in childhood time, it was so much anxiety. Come on. Right? Likewise, you look at elderly people, you think like, wow, why do you think people work very hard? So that they can come to one time when they don't need to work, correct? But then you go and ask people who are retired, are you really feeling happy? No, I have a lot of time, feeling very bored now. You understand? So happiness will always be elusive, or even before you blink, it's gone already. In South India, there is a place called Kanyakumari, very famous for its sunrises. So I remember, sometimes in my family we go in a van to go to different holy places. We'll stop in that place, and there'll be like literally tens of thousands of people waiting. Actually, sun is rising everywhere, but here it's famous, so everyone watch, and then slowly you will see the twilight coming, little bit, and then slightly, and then suddenly it just comes. I'm like, where is the sunrise now? Gone. You wait, and then you realize it's gone already. Understand? So happiness is always something we either look back in our life and feel like, wow, it was so nice, I really loved it. It's not like that. At that time it was really painful. Now it looks easy. Okay. After you go to college, you look at a year 12 question paper, year 12 books, you feel like, oh, this is very easy, I could easily pass. Yeah, after coming to college. But in year 12, that is like, the biggest uphill task to do, impossible task to do. It's not possible. That's how life is always. Understand? So, this world is like that, but this particular verse is saying, every time we go through some pain, we have little tears. Okay, so let's say you gather the tears, put it in a small cup. And then like that, from the time you are born till now, how many liters of tears do you think you would have shed? I asked this question in one group, and one said like gallons and gallons. We all have different. Now, same thing, you go to previous life. And then previous life. I remember watching Tom and Jerry once. Have anyone watched Tom and Jerry?
Yes.
Okay, if you haven't watched, you have wasted half your life, So Tom and Jerry, in one instance, they exaggerate sometimes to really get the message across because there's no dialogue. So in one instance, Jerry looks at Tom. Tom is very sad. Tom, he sobs, like he cries like this. He cries like that. And then the tears shed, and the tears fall in one big jug. And just to convince everyone that he's really, really crying, it'll pour the jug, and then it'll water the plants with that. That's how much tears. But you collect your tears in one life, go to the previous life, collect all the tears, one life before. Now what will you have? First you will have one small puddle, then one swimming pool size, then a lake, and then an ocean. Soka ashru sagaram. That's what this verse is saying. Hasam harer avanata killaloka tivra soka ashru sagaram. That's what it means. Tivra means intense pain. Ashru means tears. Sagaram means ocean. Ocean that is caused by the tears resulting from intense pain we went through. Correct? We all have that ocean, huge ocean of tears. But this ocean of tears, this verse says, if you go to a temple, bow down to the Lord and simply offer your respects, He will instantly, hasam harer, simply with this smile, He will dry up the ocean like that. Next time you go to temple, remember this verse always. Hasam harer avanata killaloka tivra soka ashru sagaram visoshanam atyudaram. Okay, so this is the beauty of simply going to the Lord, going to the temple, worshipping the Lord, taking darshan of the Lord. Prabhupada says, you don't need to do anything. Just come to the temple and go. It's given in Srimad Bhagavatam in 9th canto. You can read. of Srimad Bhagavatam, it talks about Ram Leela. When Lord Ram was ruling Ayodhya for thousands and thousands of years, every day he used to do Homa, Yagya, for the benefit of everyone, by pleasing Lord Vishnu. So, when he was performing the Yagya, everyone, whole population in the whole world were engaged in it. Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmanas were directly engaged in reciting verses, mantras, everything. Kshatriyas, they would go collect all the wealth. Vaishyas, they would actually provide all the paraphernalia, which is grains, milk products, you need ghee, everything. And then Shudras, they would go and offer all services to everyone else. But it's given in Ramayana that when Lord Ram actually performed the yagya, there were people who were doing so much work. There were people who were singing for Krishna, they were dancing for Krishna, they were saying mantras for Krishna, they were cooking for Krishna. But there were a group of people who did nothing. Remember this, it's very important. There were a group of people who actually didn't do anything at all, they did nothing, they also took the same benefit. But all we have to do is somehow or other we need to be in satsanga. Somehow we need to be with other devotees, that's all. Understand? Likewise, simply going to the temple, you will be in the sangha of devotees, but simply going to the Lord, bowing down, Krishna will dry up that ocean of tears like that. So that's what the aspiration of this particular devotee is. He is saying, my Lord, I don't want mukti, I don't want anything, all I want is simply your darshan. And simply if I see you, all my problems will go away. Okay, next one, Kuveratmajo. O Lord Damodara, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nala Kuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in this same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. When Krishna left Vrindavan, where did Krishna go leaving Vrindavan? Mathura. And from Mathura, where did he go? Dwaraka. What's the distance from Vrindavan to Mathura?
8 kilometers.
That's all. How long do you think? 8 kilometers like from Schofields to where?
Maybe Quaker Hills.
Quakers Hill. How long do you think it will take for people to walk? Why was such a big scene in Vrindavan? Gopis were crying, gopis were like, falling in front of the chariot. They could have easily walked there, correct? Every day morning they can go. We are going for work, traveling 70 kilometers one route, correct? And gopis are the topmost lovers of Krishna, correct? They can just walk and go. They don't even need any vehicle. But still, why is it said, they were feeling pangs of separation, separated from Krishna for 100 years, and every day they were just like a dead man walking. Their whole body was there, but like life wasn't there. So much is there. Why? Acharyas have explained that gopis knew very well they can go and see Krishna in Mathura, but they don't want to see Krishna in Mathura, they want to see Krishna in Vrindavan. Have you seen little kids? They play with some toy, falls down and it breaks, and then they cry. Now to console them, what you do is you buy another toy and you give it to them. Do you think the kid will be convinced? I want that particular one.
Yes.
And then you try to fix it and you give, again the kid will drop. See, broken, again they'll cry. I want that particular toy. Do you know where is that propensity coming from? Pure devotees. See, the gopis, they want Krishna, but they don't want Krishna anywhere. They want Krishna in Vrindavan, and they want Krishna on the banks of Yamuna playing flute in Keshi Ghat and dancing with them. They are very picky. You look at this verse, I'll read the translation. Hear carefully, this devotee is also very picky. O Lord Damodara, in your form as baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, Nalakuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees. Till this point is okay. And you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. Kuveratmajo Baddha Murtyaiva Yadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajav Kritavcha. Tata Prema Bhakti. Tata means I want exactly. You know the mercy you gave to Manigriva and Nalakuver. They are two sons of the treasurer of the demigods. What's the name of the treasurer of the demigods? Kuvera. He's a Yaksha king. So these two boys, they were born with the silver spoon, golden spoon, whatever costly, platinum, whatever spoon they were born with. And they were simply whiling away their time, making merry with the damsels of the heavenly kingdom. So one day Narada Muni happens to pass by. They were so much intoxicated, drinking all wine, that they couldn't even recognize the position of Narada Muni. They were like, just lying down and they were just saying hi, like that. Narada Muni feels so bad for them and he curses them. He curses them not out of anger. If you read that section of Bhagavatam, it says Narada Muni clearly thinks through. They are completely lost their sense of discrimination and acting like people with no knowledge at all. For this act, I have to punish them. At the same time, that curse which I actually give should ultimately benefit them. And he curses them to be born as Yamala Arjuna trees, twin Arjuna trees, two Arjuna trees. But he tells them, I'll make you to be born as two trees on the backyard of Nanda Baba's home. So these two trees were there. And baby Krishna is like looking at the tree every day. The trees were also looking at baby Krishna. In fact, they appeared as trees and they were waiting there meditating on Krishna for so many years. Finally, baby Krishna is coming. Every day he sees the tree. Trees also say, look at him. But on the day when baby Krishna was tied to the grinding mortar, at that time, baby Krishna could feel their pain. Now more than ever. Because baby Krishna feels, I am tied to this grinding mortar, I can't move. These two poor boys, they have been standing there as a tree, you cannot move. He took special pity on them on that day. And desiring to liberate them, he crawls. And then he goes in between the two trees. Grinding mortar is too big to actually go through that gap. And then he pulls it. When he pulls it, he uproots both the trees, and both the trees, they get liberated to the original form, which is Manigriva and Nalakuvera. And Krishna then blesses them. You go back to your place again. You will never be touched by Maya. You will be my pure devotees from now on. And at the end of this life, you will go back to spiritual world. Normally, when Krishna liberates someone, he will immediately send them. But in this particular case, he sends Manigriva and Nalakuvera back to their home. Why? Because he wanted to do some Damodar program, in the homes of Yakshas. Imagine if you are in that position, away from your family, standing as trees, nobody knows where you are, nobody knows, even you don't know when you are going to get liberated, and finally you are liberated. You will feel so much fortunate. You will go, wherever you go, you will talk about what Krishna did to you, correct? So Krishna wanted not to liberate just Manigriva and Nalakuver, but through them, he wanted to deliver the entire clan of Yakshas. So he sends them back. And they both go. During their whole life, they keep talking about Krishna. And then eventually, maybe they are still talking. I don't know whether they are here or in Golok or Vrindavan. So they talk about this Leela, and then eventually, this bhakti which Krishna gave. Now, going back to Narada Muni's curse. If Narada Muni didn't curse them for what they were doing, what do you think most likely they'll be born as in their next life? Some other lower species, correct? Because they have no sense of discrimination at all. But Narada Muni temporarily cursed them as trees, but then ultimately benefiting them to go back to Goloka in one life. In Bhagavata Puran, there is one beautiful story. It's so rare, you would have never come across, I have never come across a story like that particular one, story of Prishadra. Normally, when you come across somebody getting cursed, who is very famous for cursing? See, you don't even need to think twice. Who is famous for curse? Durvasa. So he is famous for cursing. Normally, when any curse happens, the person who is cursed, they will go beg the one who is the curser, and they will pray, please, sorry, help me. And what do the person who cursed do? Have you ever come across where they say, it's okay, I take back the curse? Have you ever come across anything like that? What is the usual response they give? You know, words that left one's lips is the same as the arrow leaving the bow. Who needs all those analogy? So they'll say that and they'll say finally, so it cannot be. But I will give you a upaya. I'll give you a remedy with which you can quickly go through this cursing period, correct? This particular story is so unique of someone who counteracted the curse in one single life. Prishadra was a Gurukuli in the Gurukul of Vashishta Muni. So in those days, Gurukul will be in the middle of the forest, away from the pandemonium of the cities. So in this particular instance, he is given a service to protect all the cows. So on Amavasya, when it's a no moon day, no moon there, pitch black dark, it's raining. The place got completely drenched and it's pouring like anything. And he is standing there guarding all the cows, because in the forest there are wild animals also who would come to attack the animals, innocent animals, which is the cows. So he is standing there holding the sword, ready to protect from any danger. Protect the cows from any danger. And on the middle of the night, there was a flash, lightning flash. It is still pouring, and he could also hear as well as see a glimpse of a tiger. First he could hear the roar of the tiger. He gets ready, and in that flash, he actually sees a tiger right in front of him. Raises the sword, attacks him. And then, sound of the tiger, it goes like a whimper, and it runs away. And then the guru, when he hears that, he comes with the torch, just to check out whether Prishadra and all the other cows are okay. When he brings the torch, the lamp, closer, that's when, much to his dismay and much to the disappointment of Prishadra, he sees Prishadra, even though he aimed to kill the tiger, he hit the tiger, but he could only cut the ear of a tiger. Tiger runs away, gets scared, but in that swing, he ended up killing a cow, cutting it. Now he feels bad. Of course, Vashishta also feels very bad. Vashishta gets so upset with him, he curses him. Even though you are studying Brahma Vidya, you don't know the difference between a tiger and a cow. You have killed an innocent cow, so I curse you to be born as a Chandala in the next life. Normally, when you might have come across many stories like this. Nobody wants to actually do anything wrong, but something unusual they do. They get cursed. And the normal story is, after that they had to take another birth, and then another birth they actually went back to Godhead. You will come across like that. In this case, Bhagavata Puran says, Prishadra, as soon as he gets the curse, he picks up his bead bag, sits and chants in one place. What is the condition of the curse? After he dies, he will be born as a Chandala, means lower than Shudra. Chandala means they even eat dog's meat. Prishadra, by the power of the holy name, he goes back to Goloka Vrindavan in that life itself. Have you ever come across a story like that? Curse is there, condition of the curse is, curse will come to you after you die. He says, no problem.
I'm not going to die.
Exactly. I'm not going to die, I'll become immortal. That very life, he goes back to spiritual world. That's the power of bhakti. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. Any other process will take lot of time. Bhakti will give us instant result. Straight away it will give us result. Bhakti can counteract even a karmic reaction that's already started to happen, like in Prishadra's case. And there are many such examples also. Similar examples, but nothing like this. Very interesting Leela that's given. Okay, we'll finish with the final verse. Who knows? Namaste. Yes? You can sing together. Yes? Yata Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with the rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope, I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. So he's concluding Damodarastakam by praying to Krishna, praying to his belly, praying to rope, praying to the grinding mortar, praying to Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada says, if you want to get the mercy of Krishna, you have to go through Srimati Radharani. That's why we always say Hare Krishna. Hare means Srimati Radharani. We say Sita Ram. First we go to our mother. If you see in Ramayana, there is the story of Indra's son. He takes the form of a crow and he comes and attacks Mother Sita in one instance. At that time, Lord Ram, to protect Mother Sita, he first tried to shoo it away, not listening. Lord Ram could also understand this is not an ordinary crow. So then, to protect Mother Sita, he invokes Astra and then throws it, hurls it at the crow. Now crow gets scared and it starts to running away. Here they are flying everywhere, didn't know where to go, finally runs, and then Lord Ram is standing that side, Mother Sita is standing here. It comes rolling, it feels very tired, it rolls on the ground and like, my Lord, please save me. And he's facing Mother Sita. Mother Sita is so merciful. If you read that pastime, it's very funny. She laughs when she looks at the crow. Crow didn't even find which direction is Lord Ram. It's actually paying obeisances to Mother Sita. She laughs, giggles, turns him that way. Lord Ram is there and he prays obeisances like that. You know, Supreme Lord's consort, they all have their sense of humor. She giggles and she turns. Lord Ram is that side like that. And then he pays obeisances that side. So Sita, Ram, Lakshmi, Narayan, Radha, Krishna. So anything that is related to Krishna, we should offer our respects. Krishna's devotees, we should offer our respects. Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's prasadam, Krishna's dress, Krishna's flute, Krishna's name, Krishna's lila. Anything and everything that's connected to Krishna, if we offer our respects, that is the greatest form of worship. Aradhanam sarvesham, Vishnur Aradhanam param, Tasmad Parataram Devi Tvadiyanam Samarchanam. Lord Shiva says to Mother Parvati that Aradhanam Sarvesham. Aradhanam means worship. Sarvesham, for all types of worship. Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Worship of Vishnu is topmost. Tasmad Parataram Devi. But there is something even greater than the worship of Vishnu, which is Tadiyanam Samarchanam. You worship anything connected to Vishnu. That's why Krishna also says, if you read Mad Bhakta Pujyadika, he says in Bhagavata Puran, that if you want to please me, you worship my devotees. There is even one famous verse in Adi Purana where Krishna says to Arjuna, oh my dear Arjuna, whoever who claims themselves to be my devotee, they are actually not my devotee. But only those who are calling themselves the devotee of my devotee, they are actually my devotee. Eme bhakta janapartha name bhakta chate janaha madbhaktanam chaya bhakta steme bhakta tamamataha. One who claims himself the devotee of my devotee is not my devotee, but one who is claiming himself as the devotee of my devotee. One who is claiming himself as my devotee is not a devotee. But one who is the devotee of my devotee is my actual devotee. Okay, so worship of Krishna is incomplete without worshipping his devotees. Worship of Krishna is incomplete without worshipping Hari Parshad or Tadiya, whatever that's in connection to Krishna. So here it said, O Lord, the entire universe is created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen. Okay, a lotus sprout out from the abdomen. Because of that, Supreme Lord has got a name known as Padmanabha. Nabha means navel. Padmanabha, that Supreme Lord whose navel is like a lotus, but from whose navel a lotus also sprout, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I know some of you may be hungry. So, this is a wonderful month. Prabhupada says this is like a special sale month. Normally you get bhakti if you do a certain amount of sadhana. But this month you do a simple act. I saw we have gotten a lot of giviks there. So we will be given opportunity to offer lamps. So even if today is the only day you get to offer the lamp, remember whatever we discussed about Krishna, pray to him and then offer the lamp. When you offer the lamp, you offer 4 rounds to Krishna's feet, 2 to his navel region, 3 to his head, and 7 to his whole body. How many rounds do you do for his feet? 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. To his belly, 2. Head, 3. And to his whole body, 7. Okay, so that's how we offer. So simply by doing that, Srila Prabhupada says, we will get all the benefit. And it is said in the Shastras that whatever activity we do in normal time, you do the same activity during this month, and the time is there till 16th of November. So today we will all be given an opportunity. So you start if you haven't done it yet. But in your home also you can still offer some givik. You do this during this month, you get 1,000 times the benefit. Whatever little act of bhakti you do, you will get 1,000 times the benefit if you do it in this month. So we are very fortunate to be here in the home ashram of Manindra Krishna Prabhu. So our humble, deepest gratitude for giving us this opportunity to come together in your association and to share from Damodar Leela. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.